It turns out consumers are incredibly smart. They combine a lifetime of experience with that brand, combined with whatever its designed appeal is. How it makes them feel, performance and price. And they do all that in a few seconds. So brands are essential to our business to allow us to deliver the increased consumer value associated with our products. We're not into the generic business of toilet paper. We're into probably about the softest product you're going to want to buy. We're not into a generic soap. We're into the best, stain removing laundry detergent you're going to buy. But we're going to want you to remember that is the Tide brand. Now, that means there's a second moment of truth. If they select you and they pay 50% more than they would have paid for Walmart's brand, when they get home, it'd better perform when it's used. And here's where the science starts, folks. Human activities, such as burning fossil fuels, or warming Earth's climate. The climate crisis has widespread ramifications. Ecologists are worried that many species will become extinct, because they might not be able to adapt to a climate change that's faster than most naturally occurring ones. It's possible that some plants and animals could adapt by shifting their habitats towards Earth's poles, or towards higher elevations, to avoid the heat. Since ecosystems are varied and complex, ecologists can only find out by studying many specific cases. A team of American ecologists explored this possibility for a species of hummingbirds native to North America's west coast, called Anna's hummingbird. The researchers published their findings in 2022. Anna's hummingbirds live in California's lowlands. OCD, which stands for Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, has two aspects: the intrusive thoughts, images, or impulses, known as obsessions, and the behavioral compulsions people engage in to relieve the anxiety the obsessions cause. The kinds of actions that people often associate with OCD, like excessive hand washing, or checking things repeatedly, may be examples of obsessive or compulsive tendencies that many of us exhibit from time to time. But the actual disorder is far more rare and can be quite debilitating. People affected have little or no control over their obsessive thoughts and compulsive behaviors, which tend to be time-consuming and interfere with work, school or social life to the point of causing significant distress. Why do we sometimes fail to perform up to what we're capable of when the pressure is on? It may not be so surprising to hear that in stressful situations we worry. We worry about the situation, the consequences, what others will think of us. But what is surprising is that we often get in our own way precisely because our worries prompt us to concentrate too much. That's right, we pay too much attention to what we're doing. There is a lot that we can do to change mindsets, but here are three things that any of us can do to instill a growth mindset in ourselves and in those around us. First, recognize that the growth mindset is not only beneficial but it is also supported by science. Neuroscience shows that the brain changes and becomes more capable when we work hard to improve ourselves. Second, learn and teach others about how to develop our abilities. Learn about deliberate practice and what makes for effective effort. We mess up. Think about a situation where you're shuffling down the stairs. What would happen if I asked you to think about what you're doing with your knee while you're doing that? There's a good chance you'd fall on your face. We as humans only have the ability to pay attention to so much at once, which is why, by the way, it's not a good idea to drive and talk on the cell phone and under pressure. When we're concerned about performing at our best, we can try and control aspects of what we're doing that should be left outside conscious control. The end result is that we mess up. The distinction between pyramid schemes and legitimate multi-level marketing can be particularly hazy in theory. The difference is that the members of the multi-level marketing companies primarily earn compensation from selling a particular product or a service to retail customers, while pyramid schemes primarily compensate members for recruitment of new sellers. In practice, though many multi-level marketing companies make it all but impossible for members to profit purely through sales, and many pyramid schemes, like Vema Nutrition, disguise themselves as legal mufti-level marketing businesses, using a product or service to hide the pay and recruit structure. Many pyramid schemes also capitalize on already existing trust. So how does a growth mindset do that? It turns out that there are physiological manifestations to mindset. Brain scans show that for people with a fixed mindset, the brain becomes most active when receiving information about how the person performed, such as a grade or a score. But for people with a growth mindset, the brain becomes most active when receiving information about what they could do better next time. In other words, people with a fixed mindset worry the most about how they are judged, while those with a growth mindset focus the most on learning. There are other consequences of mindset. People with a fixed mindset see effort as a bad thing, something that only people with low capabilities need. You sit down to take a math test, and you feel your heart beat faster and your palms start to sweat. You get butterflies in your stomach, and you can't concentrate. This phenomenon is called math aromatee, and if it happens to you, you're not alone. Researchers think about 20% of the population suffers from it. Some psychologists even consider it a diagnosable condition. But having mathematical anxiety doesn't necessarily mean you're bad at math, not even close. Laurent Schwartz went on to win the Fields Medal.